Let's see. One game weekend, which is unusual for us, and just returned from Evanston last night after and I struggle to use what word because I could say disappointing loss, and certainly disappointed in the results. But disappointed carries with it this emotion or this attitude that you weren't happy with a performance, and I don't necessarily think that's the emotion that I feel right now. There's one thing I can say about this team is it's really been a team that on a daily basis I can say I'm pleased with their effort. And I think if we can continue to have that kind of effort, then we can let some of the results start to take care of themselves. It was certainly a learning experience for us in Evanston. They played a system really that was all about stopping us, and an early goal certainly allowed them to do that. Probably one of the most defensive systems that sort of keyed on Janelle Flaws and shutting her down. And I think as a team, we got a little bit focused on what they were taking from us instead of what they were giving us. And I think, in sports, if you defend something and take something away, you always have to give something up. And we didn't do a really good job of maybe taking advantage of what they were giving up in order to create some chances for ourselves. And so this will be a real learning opportunity for us. I doubt they're the last team that comes at us with that kind of a defensive mindset. And we'll be better prepared, I think, in the future to deal with that. Soccer is not a game where you can call timeouts and make those sorts of adjustments and we made a few adjustments at halftime. But I think this team knows that, not that they could have given a better effort, but we certainly could have given a better performance and better in terms of adjusting and focusing on the things that we needed to focus on, as opposed to really focusing on just trying to get the outcome. And we pressed a little bit, and we fought hard, but maybe didn't fight as smart as we could have. And I think that's where this team will grow up a little bit from this experience. And the regular season is all about that. It's all about learning and growing so that your team is better prepared. We will, at some point, look back on this and say, this was the game that made us a better team. And I think if we can do that, then we won't be disappointed with the game in Evanston. We'll always be disappointed in the result, but we'll take this and make sure it's a learning experience for us going forward. We have another one-game weekend this weekend, and so certainly we're looking at getting some players and healing and doing some of that kind of stuff, but we're also really going to look at preparing ourselves for Minnesota. And, they're going to come to town and I'm sure look at the Northwestern and say, okay, if we can take Janelle Flaws out. So that's something that we have to deal with. But we also have to go back to focusing on what we do really, really well and train some of those things, be confident in some of those things, and find a way to take what a team is giving us and use the strengths that we have to do that. We'll certainly do that heading into Minnesota this weekend. It'll be fun to be back at home. It's going to be fun to be back on the Big Ten Network. I think I look at the crowd that volleyball had, over 4,000 people in Huff, to say that the Champaign community is still Illini fans, and we're excited to see those fans come out and watch us and to be on the Big Ten Network. It's our 100 Kids versus the Illini post game. Our first year we did that was last year. It was an unbelievably fun experience for, I think, both the athletes and the team. I think we had about 200 kids last year. We ran in two lines of 100 players on the field at one time. First 100 kids get T-shirts numbered 1 to 100. And you'd think 100 kids versus 11 would be a super advantage, but it ends up being a little bit of a mosh pit, but fun for everybody that's involved. So if we have 500 kids, we'll have 5 squads, and out they'll come. And the kids have a fun time getting on the field, and they get to actually interact with our athletes, and that's probably the funnest part for them, I think. So I invite all the young kids to come out and have their opportunity to play against the Illini and step on the field and feel like a college athlete at the age of 7 or 8 or whatever age they are. So it's a fun time, I think, for everybody, maybe but the trainer who's just waiting for something to happen. But it's with that many kids and the ball staying on the floor, it really is a lot more fun than it is dangerous. So we're excited to have everybody out.